When I think about the one marvelous scene, the one scene in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is truly amazing, I can't choose one because they are all so great. So I decided to think of a scene that was close to my heart, something that affected me personally. And that scene was in the critically acclaimed movie Black Panther, when T'Challa, King of Wakanda, sees his dad for the second time in the ancestral plane. If the Wakandan Civil War is the action climax of the Black Panther movie, then the emotional climax is when T'Challa yells at his father and all the previous kings that what they did was wrong, and that abandoning the rest of the world was not the right path to take. What had to happen to lead to this moment? Let's explore the scene with a different lens. T'Challa's story in the MCU begins in Captain America Civil War. Because of his father's death, he decides to kill Bucky, the man who was framed as his father's murderer, to get revenge. By the end of Civil War, he learns that revenge is not the answer to his problems. Seeing Tony Stark fight his friend Steve Rogers with blind rage, as well as seeing Zemo destroying a team of heroes who saved the world to get his revenge for his dead family, show T'Challa that revenge is never justified, especially his own. He goes into Black Panther deciding that blind rage and revenge won't dictate his actions, but logical thinking and calm indifference would dictate them instead. Although T'Challa grew through Civil War, he still had a lot to learn to become a leader of a nation. Remember, T'Challa was only a prince, thinking the crown would come to him a long time before it actually came. When T'Challa actually gets the crown, he is faced with a dilemma. Either he let Wakanda stay a secret from the world so that it can stay safe, or let Wakanda help nations in need with its superior technology, at the risk of being revealed to the world. T'Challa decided to follow in his father's footsteps and let Wakanda stay as an isolationist nation. Many children believe that their parents' methods are always superior to their own. It's either a self-esteem problem, or in T'Challa's case, it's a matter of respect. He loved and respected his father too much to deviate from the path that T'Chaka, his father, wanted the country to be on. T'Challa even tells him that he is not ready to rule the nation without T'Chaka's guidance when he sees him in the spiritual plane at the beginning of the movie. Even though T'Challa respects his father, you can see that he is on the line between being isolated from others or bringing aid to others. This is because of the way people act towards his people. On one hand, we have CIA officer Everett Ross saving one of T'Challa's friends, Nakia, from a bullet that should have paralyzed him. On the other hand, foreigners like Claw terrorize Wakanda for its tools and resources. He balances on this tightrope throughout the entire movie until he meets Eric Killmonger. At this point, T'Challa has just learned that T'Chaka killed his own brother to protect the isolationism of Wakanda. However, through this, T'Chaka inadvertently created a threat much greater to Wakanda's borders than he could ever imagine. This is where we meet Eric Killmonger, the man who through revenge would single-handedly overthrow the current king of Wakanda, T'Challa. Killmonger asks the questions that T'Challa has been asking himself the entire movie. Should we help others, or should we protect ourselves? What are we willing to risk to protect our nation from others? Is our fear of the outside world really justified? All these questions are running through T'Challa's head as he gets thrown into the river and into the spiritual plane once more to confront his father one last time. T'Chaka walks into the plane to meet his father, looking at him with worry, his face filled with shame. T'Chaka looks on at him with disappointment and sadness. How could the man he admired since he was a child do this to his own brother, his own nephew? With regret in his eyes, his father tells him why.
I chose my people. I chose Wakanda. Our future depended on...
You are wrong! All of you are wrong!
He realizes it now, why he was so afraid to help others.
We let the fear of our discovery stop us from doing what is right. No more.
He can't believe it took so many generations of mistakes just for him to understand what he had to do. With one final goodbye, T'Challa tells his father,
He's a monster of our own making. I must take the mantle back. I must right these wrongs.
This scene, and in turn this movie, teaches us that our parents' ideology should not be our own, even if you respect and revere the way they ran things. We can see through Boseman's amazing performance that T'Challa is in pain when he is yelling at his father and the previous kings of Wakanda. His entire life, he believed that his father was a righteous king, a man who would stand up for the weak and do anything to protect his country. But maybe that was the problem with T'Chaka's ideology, that he was willing to do anything for his country and not for his family, not for his brother, and not for his brother's son. Like T'Challa says at the end of the movie, we must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. As one single tribe, as one single family, something T'Chaka never learned, but was happy his son did.
More connects us than separates us. But in times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
With all due respect, King T'Challa, what can a nation of farmers have to offer the rest of the world?